Question 3. Question 3 tells us that a vertical flagpole AB is at a height of 40 metres. So the height of this flagpole is 40 metres. I can see at the bottom there they've got a nice little right angled symbol. That means it's 90 degrees. The points B, C and D lie on level ground. B, C and D lie on level ground, and BCD is a straight line. The point C is 20 metres from the base of the flagpole. The angle of elevation of the top of the flagpole from point D is 51 degrees. So from point D, if I drew a straight line to the top of the flagpole, the angle of elevation is 51 degrees. Okay. Question is, how far apart are points C and D? Well, if I calculate the length of BD and then take away the length of BC, it will give me how far it is from C to D. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to calculate the length of BD. So I can see now, I'm going to use trigonometry because I've got an angle of 51 degrees, I've got a side of 40 metres, and I'm trying to find another side which I'm going to call X. So if I'm going to use trigonometry, first thing I have to do is label my sides. So the opposite side is the one opposite the angle in question, which is this one here. The adjacent side to the angle is this one because it's at the side of the angle, touching the angle. So I'm going to call that A, or label it A. And then the hypotenuse is the one that's opposite the 90-degree angle, which is here. I'm going to call that H. So which ratio shall I use? Well, let me use my memory jogger, SOHCAHTOA. Oh. SOHCAHTOA, and I can see that I need to find the adjacent angle. They've given me the opposite angle, so I'm going to ignore the hypotenuse because they're not telling me anything about it and they're not asking me anything about it. So the opposite side is involved and the adjacent side is involved. I also have the angle. So it's easy to see now. I'm going to use the tan ratio. So what I can say is that the tan of 51 degrees is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Well, the opposite is 40 over the adjacent, which is X. That's the side we're looking for. So we've got that ratio. We want to try and find X, so I'm going to have to rearrange the equation to get X on its own. So what I do here is divide both sides by the tan of 51. I'll do that. That cancels that out. And then what I want to do is multiply both sides by X. So that cancels that out. So I'm left with X is equal to 40 divided by the tan of 51. So rearranging the equation was probably the most tricky bit there, but that's a different video. So if I work out those numbers, if I worked out 40 divided by the tan of 51, the answer would come out to 32.4 metres. So I can say that the length of the side BD is 32.4 metres. So if I take away 20 metres, that's the side BC, that leaves me with 12.4 metres, which is the length between C to D, which is what we were asked for.